hello, I'm Scott and you're not, unless you are, in which case, hello, future me, from the past, or possibly an alternate timeline. Do monkeys still rule the planet? This is Scott's Tops! So, that's all the time that we have on Scott's Tops. We'll see you next time. Like and subscribe. Wait, there's more? Yes, today's Scott's Tops is the list of the 5 best after the credits scenes. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Or did you? Well, here it is anyway. Number 5, young Sherlock Holmes' birth of the arch-nemesis. Young Sherlock Holmes was an 80s film which delved into the idea of Sherlock Holmes meeting Dr. Watson when they were kids. It was fun, frothy adventure. In fact, after the end credits, we saw the adventures of a man heading towards somewhere in a sleigh, going through the winter and snow, and when they got there, they signed into a hotel. Who signed into the hotel? Well, the name on the register was Professor James Moriarty. And then the camera turns around and oh look, it's the villain from this movie who wasn't Professor James Moriarty. We know where Moriarty comes from. It's from young Sherlock Holmes, and that was mind-blowing! Number 4, The Wet Skull, Masters of the Universe. Now yes, there are a lot of things wrong with the Masters of the Universe movie. Courtney Cox. But thankfully, at the end of the movie, we did get a reasonably decent sword fight between He-Man and Skeletor. Sure, it was mainly in the dark because they ran out of money and it was basically done on the director's time. But at the end, Skeletor fell to his death. Or did he? After the end of the credits, there was a bubbling of the water and Skeletor reared his head and said, "I'll be back!" Now let's face it, Frank Langella's Skeletor was the best single thing out of this movie, and the prospect of having another movie with more Frank Langella Skeletor was awesome! Alas, we'll never know, because the sequel ended up getting made into Cyborg, or something like that, with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Why? Frank Langella! He was Nixon, for God's sake! Number 3, Goodbye! The Producers. The film version of the stage musical of the movie by Mel Brooks wasn't always the greatest. I'm looking at you, Will Ferrell. Sure, the Hop Clots Must Go On was pretty cool, but really, your Franz Liebken was not up to Brad Oscar standard. But still, we'll let it go past, because we did get to see the awesome Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick bringing those characters to life. However, the best part of the movie was undoubtedly the post-credits goodbye song. It's not just a scene, it's an entire song from the entire cast saying goodbye, let everybody know if you liked it, if not, shut up and get out, the movie's over, you're not making me any more money, go see another Mel Brooks movie, you should, they're really good. Number 2, sticking with a Matthew Broderick theme, it's Ferris Bueller's Day Off with You're Still Here? Yes, it was a tag scene before tag scenes were even a thing. It's really the epitome and the pinnacle and the prototype for the post-credits scene, where Ferris Bueller comes out in astonishment that anybody could still be here, watching the movie. Go home. In fact, it's so influential that it was pitch perfect parodied with Deadpool earlier this year. That is awesome, and that is thanks to Ferris Bueller. Save Ferris. And the number 1 post-credit scene of all time so far, but pretty definitely all time, is of course Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., from the first Iron Man. Sure, we'd had an awesome superhero movie by that stage, but what we didn't know is what it was building up to. After the credits, Tony Stark comes into his house, Jarvis isn't being his usual self, and you know why? Because there's Samuel L. Motherfudgin' Jackson right there in a black leather trench coat telling him he's Nick goddamn Fury. Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L.
Hold on to your butts.
Jackson.
Come on!
That was awesome! And that is why Marvel rules the box office, and especially rules the post-credits sequence. So, are there any post-credit sequences that you think should have made this list? Of course you do, but you're wrong. Mine are the best. However, if you don't agree, feel free to leave a comment below, but make sure that you like and subscribe, because there's going to be more things, possibly even after the credits on this one. Isn't it? Is there going more? Is there going less? Am I going? Or am I back for more? No, I'm not! This is over! See you next time!